Hello, my name is Christine Conrado Staskowitz. I am the president of the Conrado Consulting Group. Today, I'm going to review how to provide relevant information during a STAR method interview. The STAR interview method was created by a consulting company called DDI in 1974. They created this method to allow interviewers to obtain accurate candidate data about their work habits, skills, and experience. What is the STAR interview method? Well, the STAR interview method is a method using situationally based questions. And situationally based questions are usually open-ended questions, specific in nature and related to the skills and requirements outlined in the job description. Here's a couple of examples, actually 3. Tell me about a time when you used out-of-the-box thinking to solve a problem. How do you deal with an upset client? Do you deal with tight deadlines? So the STAR interview method helps provide insight into your work habits, skills, and experiences, as well as your critical thinking abilities and your demeanor. Your answers should provide details and be as brief as possible. You only want to spend a minute, maybe 2, on your answer. If you take up too much time with each question, you may run out of time before your interviewer is able to ask you all the questions on their list, and they may choose to just not move forward with you as a candidate versus rescheduling to allow more time to finish their questions. So you don't want to take that risk. So what does STAR mean? S is for situation. You want to describe the situation for the question. T is for task. In your description, you want to describe what needed to be accomplished or corrected. A is for action. Describe the actions you took to provide a solution. R is for result. You want the interviewer to understand what the outcome was for the situation you described. So when you're answering STAR method interview questions, you should provide them with the who, what, where, when, and how behind each situation. Who was involved in the incident? What are the circumstances of the event? Where did you work at the time? What did the situation, or when did the situation come about? Describe the elements that created the situation. And how did you solve the quandary? So the who is the who was involved in the situation. Who was involved in determining the task needed to solve the dilemma? Who decided if the solution was successful? So who was in the situation is you, maybe other people on your team, clients, internally or externally. Who was involved in determining the task needed to solve the dilemma? Did you solve this all on your own? Were there other people involved externally or internally? Who decided the solution was successful? Was it the client? Was it your manager? Was it the vice president of your division? The what? What was the crisis or problem? What was the cause? Provide details about the crisis and what would happen if a solution wasn't found and who it would affect. Was the solution a permanent solution or a Band-Aid? Was further action or approval required to permanently solve the problem? Was this a recurring problem with variables that could or couldn't be managed to reduce recurrences? So the what is very important. And the way that you explain it, if you provided a Band-Aid solution, then it might not be the right situation for you to describe. If you provided a permanent solution and you have some outcome long term, that really is giving them the full scope of the situation. And that's a great way to go. The where. Where was the crisis or problem created? Was it created in your department or company? Was it created by an external influence like a customer or vendor? So if you understand the company and how things between departments interact, that sometimes can give you insight into how a problem was created. So it gives you some details that you can provide to your interviewer. If it was created from an external influence like a customer or vendor, you may not be able to give them all the detailed answers that they may ask you when you're making your answer. The when. How long ago did you solve this problem? How often did problems like this occur? So those two questions are important, but if it's been a long time, it may not be as relevant as something that just happened. So next is the where. Where did you work when this situation occurred? Where did you find the solution? Where were you in your tenure at that employer? So the where is important, especially in my opinion, when you're talking about your tenure. If you were at a company for 30 days and you solved a huge problem, that's very impressive. If you've been somewhere for 15 years and you solve a problem, then, that's kind of par for the course, right? You've been there a long time. Where did you find the solution is a good thing to provide because resources change from one company to another. And if you had to be extremely resourceful at one company because you didn't have as many resources, that would be a better opportunity to describe your problem solving abilities and how you can think on your feet. The when. When were you made aware of the situation? Were you the person who discovered the issue? Did you come into the diagnostic process somewhere in the middle? How long did it take to find a solution? These are all very important aspects of when. So if you were made aware of the situation, you're the person who discovered it, they may ask you, well, did you already have a solution when you brought this problem to your manager's attention? That's important. People a lot of times, they want you to have a solution when you come to them with a problem. And if you were made aware of the situation and you immediately had a solution and it was able to be corrected quickly, that really shows your initiative, things like that. So if you were thrown into things in the middle, were you able to get a hold of the situation quickly and, make some suggestions? How long did it take to find a solution? And resources there again play a big part of, how long it takes. Did you have to find new resources? Did you have to call a vendor? All of those things are important things to mention when you're talking about the solution. The how. What was your involvement? Sometimes things are going to overlap. The how and the when might overlap, and that gives you different aspects of a problem that you can present and show how you were able to use your skills and abilities to solve it. So sometimes it's going to overlap. What actions did you take to find a solution? Resources again come into play. What tools or resources did you use to resolve the problem? Like I just said. How does the outcome affect the future? Now, the Band-Aid solution, again, is going to be a part of the how. So if it is a Band-Aid, then you may have to face this problem again on a regular basis. Why didn't you come up with a long-term fix? Was it a Band-Aid solution that eventually became a long-term fix? So those kinds of things are the things you want to consider when you're thinking about what experience you want to use to answer a question. It's a good idea to have a few standard questions that you've already prepared for. It will make you feel more comfortable. You'll be able to think of things more readily. In summary, in a STAR, method interview, you should describe the situation, tasks, actions, and results using the who, what, where, when, and how elements of the situation. Provide important details without getting into the minutia of the situation. So remember to try to keep your answers to 1 or 2 minutes at the most so you don't run out of time. Remember, now is the time to toot your own horn. They want to know about the problems you've solved and the crises you've averted. It's not bragging when it's true. The way they're going to know how awesome you are is if you tell them. How you answer STAR method interview questions can set you apart from other candidates. I have seen candidates with less experience get an offer over someone else with more years of experience because the less experienced candidate was able to give full answers to STAR questions. So the interviewers have a better understanding of their experience than they do with someone who doesn't answer the questions as well, but has more experience. Now, if you would like a list of some sample STAR method interview questions, you can email me. My email is on the screen right now. You can call me. You can also go to our website, conradoconsulting.com, to learn more about our company and the services that we provide and the areas that we recruit for within IT, healthcare, ERP, and EMR. I hope that this video helps you prepare for your next interview. Good luck and goodbye.